I've noticed is that there's no reward in being a traditional good woman anymore. If you are a traditional woman who's got no, pictures on Instagram, who isn't going out all day, every day, who isn't sleeping around and isn't getting lots of surgery and not putting on loads of makeup, and you're simple, just a traditional woman, there's no reward in that. You will never find a date. You'll never find a man that says, here, let me take you out, here, let me do this. Whereas if you are the most promiscuous, provocative, dangerous woman, your DMs are endless and you are booked every single day of the week and you get to choose which country you want to fly out to. So humans are going to look at where's the most reward, and they're going to lean towards whatever's the easiest and most rewarding and profitable, unfortunately.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gender Chronicles. Today let us come together and sing an ode to mothers, real mothers, feminine women, authentic wives, and traditional ladies who keep the world, society, civilization. Okay, let us begin. They will not sing for you in the streets, nor will they erect monuments in your name. No great banners fly in your honor, no slogans bear your likeness, no world congress assembles to study the mystery of your love. Yet it is you, dear mother, who keeps the world from crumbling, from toppling over into its own ruin, from drowning in the sea of its own rebellion. It is you who, in the quiet hush of a home filled with the laughter of children, in the sacred heat of a kitchen where bread is broken and love is served, in the patient strength of arms that cradle, soothe, and heal, it is you who preserve what so many take for granted. They tell you now that your love is chains, that your devotion is submission, that the dignity of your labor is something lesser, something shameful, something to be discarded like yesterday's news. They do not understand, nor do they wish to. They have forgotten the long nights when fever burned in a child's brow, and you stayed, damp cloth in hand, whispering lullabies into the shadows. They do not see the careful tending of a husband's spirit, the unspoken strength you lend him when the world is too cruel, the gentle wisdom that keeps him standing. They do not see, and so they ridicule. But what do they know of sacrifice, of grace, of a love that bends but does not break, that weeps but does not abandon? What do they know of the eternal hands that hold civilization together? Oh, Mother, you are the last bastion of sanity in an age that has forgotten the cost of its own arrogance. You are the keeper of the sacred flame, the preserver of traditions, the guardian of names written in the marrow of time. When all else crumbles, when ideologies rise and fall like waves upon the shore, when revolutions devour their own children and societies stand upon the brink of collapse, it is you who remain. It is you who kneels in prayer when the world has no faith left. It is you who lifts weary hands to prepare the feast, to weave the stories, to bind the wounds of a broken people. She has quietly resisted the temptation to become the reserve army of labor, to enter the workforce as a competitor to men rather than a complement. While others have abandoned their homes to chase the fleeting illusions of independence, she has chosen instead to anchor herself in something deeper, something truer. She has refused the call to cast away her femininity in favor of a grotesque and unnatural mimicry of masculinity. She does not believe that strength is found in the rejection of her womanhood, nor does she see her home as a prison. It is her dominion, her sacred charge. The world has offered her a price for her dignity, has sought to turn her beauty, her warmth, her very essence into something transactional, but she resists. While others have traded their feminine grace for fleeting validation, she stands firm, refusing to make a commodity of herself. Her value is not determined by market forces, nor is her worth something that can be bought and sold. She does not measure her success in wealth or accolades, for she knows that true legacy is not built in boardrooms, but in the hearts of those she loves and nurtures. She walks alongside her husband, not behind him in subjugation, nor ahead of him in defiance. Together, They form the foundation upon which a family is built, two halves of a sacred whole. She does not see him as her adversary, nor does she diminish his role as provider and protector. He, in turn, does not belittle the work of her hands. They labor together, each playing their part, neither consumed by the arrogance of superiority nor the bitterness of resentment. Their love is not a battlefield. It is a partnership, strong enough to weather every storm. And while she stands firm, others have faltered. Many who abandoned their homes in pursuit of self-fulfillment now find themselves adrift, lost in a world that promised them freedom but delivered only loneliness. They once laughed at the women who chose the old paths, who clung to traditions they deemed outdated. But now, in the quiet of their empty homes, they realize the truth too late. Their rebellion has not liberated them. It has chained them to monuments of their own misery, weighed down by stress, exhaustion, and a longing for what they can never reclaim. They speak to you of liberation, but they do not understand that you are already free, freer than they have ever been. You are free in the arms of the children who call your name, in the steady gaze of the husband who knows your worth. You are free in the quiet dignity of a life well lived, in the knowledge that love is not a prison, that duty is not a curse. You are free in the great and noble work of keeping a family whole, in the steadfast grace that keeps a man standing tall. They do not see, but the heavens do, and the angels whisper your name in reverence. How many wars have been stopped because a mother wept? How many lost sons have found their way home because a mother prayed? How many weary men have found the strength to rise again because a woman refused to let them fall? The world does not ask these questions because the world does not know how to measure what cannot be bought, cannot be sold, cannot be reduced to statistics. But you know, and that is enough. Your strength is not in rebellion, but in endurance. Your power is not in defiance, but in creation. Your glory is not in destruction, but in preservation. While they march, you build. While they rage, you nurture. While they demand, you give. And for this, they call you weak. But what is more powerful than the woman who holds the weight of 1,000 generations in her hands and does not tremble? What is more formidable than the mother who will fight for her children, for her home, for the very soul of a people? You are not forgotten, though the world would wish it so. You are not obsolete, though they tell you your ways are old. You are not alone, though they try to isolate you. For in every corner of the earth, there are others like you, women who understand, who hold fast, who refuse to yield to the madness. Women who, despite all, still believe in the power of a home, the holiness of marriage, the strength of a husband and wife bound together in sacred promise. Women who see through the lies, who reject the siren call of a world that has lost its way. And when the dust settles, when the age of confusion and rebellion has burned itself to ash, it is you who will remain. You who will gather the children and teach them again of love, of honor, of duty. You who will remind the broken and the weary of what they have forgotten. You who will stand, unbowed, unbroken, carrying forward the great work of civilization itself. For you, dear mother, are the salt of the earth, and it is through you that the world will be made whole again. So, what do you think? Do you know any woman who has chosen the noble path of raising her own hands, heart and soul? A woman who cooperates with her husband as a partner and not as a rival or enemy? Have you expressed appreciation to her? If not, then do it. If you have found this reflection informative, drop us a comment. Please press the like button, subscribe, and share with your loved ones. Let's keep the conversation going and change the world one video at a time. Thank you for watching.